kind of put the pieces together about how to understand how these people work. You know, part of the reason I like to understand how they work is because I wanted to see if there was more that I could have done. You know, what if I'd have known this, or what if I'd have known that about her? You know, maybe I could have done something different. You know, but in all the research, what I found is that they are who they are, and there's really nothing we can do about them. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. We can't change them. We can only change us. We can only change what's in our hula hoop. So there's a really good video out called The Circle of Supply. If you haven't seen this yet, it came out about 7 days ago from a new YouTuber, and she published it, and it's gone kind of viral. It's got like 3,000 views, but it's called The Circle of Supply. I would recommend that you bookmark it and watch it. It's a really good visualization. I think she's like a preschool teacher, and she teaches how supply works with the narcissist. And she has a bunch of glasses, you know, drinking glasses on a table, and she fills them up with water, different colors of water, and she has the narc in the middle. It's brilliant how she describes this. Highly recommend that. It's The Circle of Supply. So, I wanted to talk about numbness because I know I experienced this, and I know now because I'm not numb anymore. But for a long time, because of the constant verbal abuse, the criticisms, you know, you can't do this right, you never do this right, you're always wrong, you know, taking the blame for everything, because of all that, I shut down my feelings. Basically, I wasn't allowed to express my feelings. So what happens there is that I wasn't expressing my negative feelings or my anger. That was being suppressed, but what was also being suppressed was my happiness. You know, there was just this numbness, this void. And I did take an antidepressant, so I think that kind of helped, because it helped take away maybe some of the anger, and I was just kind of letting stuff kind of flow, like water off a duck's back, just kind of, you know, letting things just kind of chill out. But there was something missing there, and when I got off the antidepressant and I kind of worked through all the stuff with her, kind of put things in perspective, you know, got rid of the resentments, because we are resentful. I mean, it's look, somebody did something to you, and it was pretty bad. I mean, it's like they don't know what they do know what they did, but they also don't know the damage that they did, because they just don't care. That's just not in their vernacular. Just like us manipulating people, that's not really in our vernacular. That's not something we wake up every morning and go, oh, I'm going to manipulate this and this person today. I'm going to calculate this. I'm going to make sure that this person talks to this person so that I can talk to them. And then in 2 weeks, I'm going to get this, and they're going to tell this, and they're going to tell their friends. I mean, I don't think like that. I really don't. Maybe I should do more of that. But I don't really think like that, because I live life on a deeper level. I don't need to try and calculate things, because things kind of work out. I kind of like the way things go when I'm healthy, right? When I'm in a relationship with people around me where I have healthy boundaries, and people are respectful of each other, listening to each other's opinions and whatnot. So I got that numbness, and I would say to you that you might not even know that you're numb right now. You might just think that life in general, just everything's bad and everything looks terrible, and you know, people are, you know, there's positive people that try to pump you up, but they don't really believe it, or maybe that's just for them or whatever. I'm here to tell you that I was not a positive person a year ago, 18 months ago. I was devastated, and I was numb. And, you know, I think it's the body's way of kind of shutting down. It has to protect. It protects ourselves, right? It protects those hurtful things. So the body kind of shuts them off. It kind of numbs them, kind of puts them over in the corner, or buries them for a little while. And we deny them, right? We go in denial. Well, it can't be that bad. And, you know, we justify and rationalize, kind of what the narc does, but we do it to ourselves. We justify our own things. Well, I shouldn't feel this way. You know, well, I can't feel this way right now because, you know, money's tight. And if I leave, I move or whatever, I just have to grin and bear it, or just have, you know, guys, all that thoughts, you know, and I know some of you are doing that right now. It goes away, okay? It gets better. you might be looking through a perspective where you really can't see the good and stuff, but there is really good stuff out there. There is really good people out there. And when you develop your boundaries, and it takes a little bit of time, right? A little bit each day, saying no, being able to tell people no. And there's different ways to say no. So don't even worry about, oh, if I tell them no, they're going to think. There's different ways to say no politely. And there's just not showing up for stuff, right? If you're always volunteered for stuff, just don't show up for stuff. You got to take care of you first. And that's the whole thing I'm getting at, is that you want to put yourself first and forget all the other noise, forget what people think, forget what's going to happen if you don't do this or this doesn't get done. You're talking about your survival here, your emotional survival. That is number one. Your physical survival is number one, okay? You can't do anything without this, right? But after that, you really need to take care of you. And what does that mean? Well, that means going no contact. Don't talk to people that are going to bring you down. I mean, you need support, and you need to talk about your issues. Talk about them here on these boards. There's other people here that want to help. They've been through it. I've been through it. I want to help. I want you to be able to see that there is hope, that things do get better. And I wish I could just, come over there through the phone and show you. But man, life is so colorful. I just did my YouTube videos. I updated the covers on the YouTube videos. So I have a YouTube channel, and I started a long time ago, but I just started posting videos to it about 2 months ago. And it was just like the cover photos, like, you know how you look at a video before you click on it, it's like got a picture, and a lot of the videos are me like, or like, and I'm like, I don't want to see my face like disgruntled like that, or it's like, so I changed all my cover art on my videos. When you click on them, you see me, but I changed them to some 1940s black and white. Anything from the 40s, black and white, like a gaslight from the 1940s. I put a picture of that on there. And I thought it was really cool because I wanted the black and white to be your memories, to kind of like subconsciously, subliminally, whatever, kind of communicate that is your memories, that your memories will go black and white on you. The bad memories and everything, those are like fuzzy, you're not going to be able to see those as much, those don't come through, those kind of just dissipate, right? Black and white stuff. The colorful stuff is what happens when the numbness wears off, when you start actually enjoying and believing that there are good people out there, and there's good people over here. There really are good people. And it just, all that stuff in the past, I mean, the only person carrying it around is us, I mean, it's all here. And the more we talk about it, it's good to talk about it and get feedback on it and get it out. But sometimes I think we can get stuck in it, okay? Now, how do you get stuck with talking about it to get it out? Well, you almost want to have a state change. You almost want to, when you talk about it, you should feel a little bit of relief. And that's a tough one. I'm still kind of thinking about how that went, but I did have to talk about mine a lot. And then after a while, I thought, why am I talking about this? Why is she even taking up space in my head? So it's almost this self-esteem thing that kind of swooped up there with talking about it. Talk about it, low self-esteem. Talk about it, low self-esteem. Self-esteem gets a little bit higher, and then, oh, I don't need to talk about it anymore. Does that kind of make sense? But this video, The Circle of Supply, excellent video. And I parked in a Bass Pro parking lot because I wanted to show you guys this. This is like people with their boats and stuff. Texas is a big boat thing. And the Narc and I used to go out on our boats. And we used to go out on our one boat. That was fun when the kids were growing up. I had some good memories in there. You know what? I'm going to keep those in the colorful folder where things are in color. But the other stuff, I'm going to move it to black and white. And there's neuro-linguistic programming. It's called NLP for short. There's NLP techniques that you can actually do to reprogram your brain. And I've used some of those. And I've made some videos on it on my YouTube channel. But you can use some of those to actually reprogram your brain, actually create a different state. so that when you think of your ex, your narc, you're not going to have all these negative thoughts associated with it, because you will see him again probably, like, you know, at the store, or if you have kids, you're going to see him. You just want to make sure you don't have that same link that you had, that trauma bond, or that even that just bond. You want to replace that bond with something something less bonding, like a chain of water, you know, something that doesn't stick real well, right? So one of the techniques they teach you to do is reframing, and literally like reframing. Like you actually take the picture of say you've got this image that keeps coming up in your head of your narc. So you take that, you put the image to the right of you. Now I don't know on the screen if it's left or right, but you take that image, put it out in front of you, visualize it right there, that person, and then all the noises, all the laughter, whatever's associated with that person, something that's keeping you, like maybe blocking you from moving forward, right? Maybe an image of them, maybe an image of her and him, or him and her, or whatever. And then you take that image, you shrink it down, you make it black and white, you shrink it down, and then you toss it over your head. And then the next time that image comes up, it's not as strong. It's like, then you got the image of tossing it over your head. You do that a few times, really visualize that, like, you know, no distractions, just imagine that, visualize that, and then physically just take that little picture, that black and white picture, it's a big color thing, black and white now, small, throw it over your head, and it's gone. Or you can do this, you can move it, go boop, move it out, and even make that sound like bing or bong. Something where you have a memory that replaces what you had of them. I know it sounds kind of hokey, but it really does work. But there's different techniques. I'm probably not doing it justice because that's not my gig. I don't do that. I just me, right? I just talk about stuff that I did. So let's see how you guys are doing here. I'm going to go way back to comments in the beginning. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that feeling of feeling it in your stomach and that knot in your gut and everything. I don't have that anymore. And I'm telling you, because you won't always have that. It'll go away, okay? I know it thinks like it's stress, right? Things I can recommend: exercise, get out and exercise and walk. Go change your environment around you. Go see a movie. Go see a movie by yourself. A lot of people are like, I don't want to go by myself, but I mean, you're in a dark movie theater. No one really, I mean, I do that all the time. It's good. It's a good state change, right? You want to change your state. What's going on here? You want to take it. Basically, what's happening is you got a record spinning. Some people call it tapes, but I like this analogy. You've got a record spinning, like an old vinyl RPM, you know, vinyl record, 33 RPMs or whatever. So you got that record spinning, and you got a needle that's on that record, right? So, you know, that needle goes on there. Back when I was a kid, they had the automatic ones that go, you know, play the record would spin. But what you want to do is you want to take that record, and you want to just take that needle, you want to take a nail or a pen to it and just go, you're just scratching the heck out of that record, so that it's no longer going to do what it usually does, and that's play the same thing over and over again. So you want to scratch it. Take this pen or a nail. Just imagine like a big heavy nail, like some of these on a deck, you know, these huge nails, big old points on them, just all over that record. That's what you want to do. That's the kind of, and that's from a sound point, what you hear, right? So you want to interrupt that sound pattern. But Google it, NLP techniques. There's a lot of free stuff on YouTube that you can find. And Richard Brannon, the Spartan Life Coach, talks about those too. And I think you can find, if you type in NLP Richard Brannon, Grannon, not Brannon. If you type him in, you'll find it. So let me see what else is going on. I'm going to look at your comments. I wanted to make this interactive. And this is going to last for about 8 more minutes. I have to go. I have an appointment, but I wanted to just do this. So yeah, self-esteem is hard. You know, I don't think you can build your self-esteem up by yourself. You have to tap into some other power, whether it be I mean, you can do it with a person, temporarily, but the thing is, people are only loyal to themselves. The most, a Mother Teresa, the most giving person, you spend enough time with them and they're gonna like lose interest in you because they care about themselves, which is the natural way things are supposed to be. We all care about ourselves, right? And we can give a little bit, but if we don't have, if that person doesn't have a lot of love, if they don't love themselves a lot, they can't give you a lot of love either. All right, so I would just tap into a higher power, whatever that higher power is, Buddha, God, or whatever it is. Figure that out. Eckhart Tolle is a good one to watch. Wayne Dyer is a good one to watch on that, because the universe happens, right? There's all kinds of stuff going around us that happen whether we do anything or not. And that's the type of power, that's a very powerful power grab for yourself. Okay. I'm trying to communicate power without like saying the P word over and over again and spitting in the screen. Okay, anyways, you got to get my drift on that. So I'm going to check out some of your comments here. Been in counseling 4 years, trying to undo the 29 years. Yeah, it will take time. I saw a counselor for a little while, and I got more spending time on Facebook because it was interactive. I could get on anytime I wanted in this group. There was another group too, but this is my main group now. It has been for a while. But I could interact and spill out my stuff, almost like journaling, right? I'm typing out all of my thoughts and everything, and I'm getting interactive feedback from other people in the group. And then you have some people that are further along that can kind of carry you along, right? And I also went to an Al-Anon group. I went there for a while. Al-Anon's a great thing. It's a spin-off of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And you can get some good advice there because it teaches you how to kind of let go. They say, let go, let God. Let go and let God. That's if you're a God person. Again, it doesn't have to be that way. That's what's cool about this. Whatever works for you, okay? I'm just telling you what worked for me. They are worms in our brain, yep. And we can unworm it. We can deworm ourselves. We had a puppy once, and he had worms, and he almost died, and you guys aren't going to do that, though. You guys are going to go to the vet, right? Get help. Visualization. I live visualization stuff. Being quite a visual person. It really works for me. Yeah. I mean, some people think it's hokey, but, when you get desperate enough, you'll try anything, right? And I used it a little while back before I met my narc for success stuff. And then she wanted to take credit for all the success, and it didn't work as much. I mean, we still had some success, but yeah, visualization, it's what athletes use. The best athletes, like the Olympians, they will actually do the sport in their head before they will actually do the performance in their head before they actually do the performance live or in person or physically do it. They practice over and over. Now, what's probably happened, if you're like me, you probably had the visualization over and over of the breakup or the discard, and it's like imprinted in your brain. So I'm saying interrupt that. Like the next time you have that thing, and let's say you came home one day and you found him with a girl or something. When you come home, interrupt that thing and open the door and have a big shaggy dog like just pounce on you and just lick your face and just so you're interrupting that pattern. You see what I mean? You're just interrupting that pattern. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Just create some funny things. I mean, just because it'll happen naturally over time if you just kind of don't think about it as much. But if you interrupt it, that's the best way, is to replace it. Gradually replace it with fun stuff. Make it fun. I know it's sick, right? It makes you sick, but make it fun. Not easy. You're like, oh, that's. It's like, why are you holding on to it then? Well, I don't want to do that. Well, why are you holding on to it? Because it makes you feel good? Because like, oh, well, I know if I have this, at least I know that's something that I know for sure that happened, and darn it, I'm going to get him back, and whole world's going to know about him and all the crap he did, and I was there. I was there. I didn't let the whole world know. I told a few people, but I'm glad I didn't, because it wouldn't have been good. It would have made me look like crazy, like I was obsessed with her. Because in my brain, I kind of was, because I had those. Because look, when you're traumatized by these people, some people will look at you and say you're obsessed. Well, you're obsessed with them. Well, your brain is trying to figure out how to repair yourself, how to heal yourself, because you've had a trauma. You've had I think they did studies where they can actually see an actual trauma, actual damage in the brain from this abuse, from the verbal abuse. There's some things that don't quite work right, and they need time to heal. And so it's a real deal, folks. If you were in a cast, you get more sympathy, right? Because everybody could see your cast on your arm and you were healing. But people can't see this. Only a few people know. People here that get it, right? People on Facebook in these groups, only a few people really know. So talk to those people. Talk to the people that get it. Because the other people, they might have the best intentions for you, but they just don't get it. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to like, oh, I'm going to discard them, or I'm not going to talk to them, or not support me. No, they just don't know. A lot of people just don't know. And a lot of healthy people, here's a secret. Unless a lot of semi-healthy people, not the healthiest people, but a lot of semi-healthy people aren't going to want to be around you because they, like, I don't know what this thing is that you're doing. I would like to help, but I just don't. So that's okay. It's okay. You'll come back to them later, okay? Or they'll come back to you later when you can kind of come down to their level where you're not thinking about things. You don't have the trauma, which they see as maybe as an obsession. You don't have an obsession. You're trying to heal. Just remember that. So I need to go in a minute here, guys, but I have so much anger. Let go of the anger too. Drop some F-bombs. In private, maybe, or you can do them in this group here. That's fine. We had one person that she was our F-bomb queen. She was great. She helped a lot of people recover. So interrupting the pattern. If you've never sworn before, get it all out there. Maybe you've suppressed yourself. Maybe that's one way. If you said, I'm not going to say it here because it's a video, but if you said that F word 20 times in a row and just screamed it at the top of your lungs in your car, maybe in your garage, car's not turned on, I mean, you know, just somewhere private, I'm telling you, or punch a pillow. I've done that. I've screamed into a pillow, punched a pillow. That's one way to get it out, because what you're doing is you're employing your physicalness to kind of like, it taps into the emotions. Some of us are geared more towards our physicality, which is tied more to our emotions. There's different ways. There's all kinds of studies on that, but that's one thing that helps. Yes, Jamie Brewster. Yes. Great. Somebody posted something about gray rocking. Thank you. Yeah, we do look crazy. We get it. We get each other, all right? You know, it's kind of like if you were to go into, you walked into a class where a bunch of Marines were in training, and they're talking about, yeah, you take the round of this, and you got the artillery wrist round, and you take this shell, but if the shell jams, and you're looking like going, I don't get this. And they're looking at you like, hey, well, you know, if that round is a dud, then you want to make sure you replace it with a howitzer, blah blah blah. And you're like, I don't. Sorry, guys. I like the Marines. I support you guys, but I don't understand this training, so I'm gonna go. This is too much for me. Okay, all right. See you. Bye. You know, that's how you want to be with this. This is like, people aren't gonna get it, and that's okay. Not everyone has to get it. You know. And when they listen to you, they're going to want to fix it, right? Especially if you talk to a guy. Hey, we like to fix things, you know? And this can't be fixed just like that, you know? You can just hear different videos, read books, and kind of do that kind of stuff. But anyways, gotta run, guys. Have a great Monday out there. Have a great rest of the week. We love you. I love you as much as I express here to you. You can recover from this. You are getting better. Stay plugged in, okay? All right.